Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Todd Bowen from sittingposture.com. Welcome to today's video, how to sit at your desk to relieve shoulder pain. Thanks for joining me. I do value your time, and I promise I will make it as worthwhile as possible. Computer posture can be a very boring and painful topic. I try to create content that is free, open-minded, relatable, and easily actionable. Quick note though, the info in this presentation is not medical advice. It's based off of my experience and my opinions of what works best. I talk about good habits that have helped me live a higher quality, sedentary lifestyle. Do your research, make good decisions, and be the best possible advocate you can be for your own health care and shoulder pain. The specific goals of my channel are to help the user decrease pain caused by sitting at a computer, increase energy, improve mental clarity, and increase work productivity. A quick note about me, my name is Todd Bowen. I've got an information technology degree, so I've taken classes like workstation ergonomics and user experience. Lifelong athlete and exerciser, and for the last 20 plus years, I've lived a sedentary lifestyle. Here's a quick look at my website, sittingposture.com. You can download a free computer posture checklist there. You can also sign up for my email list here. I don't spam. I only send out one email a week on Fridays, which includes the link to the article that I wrote for that week, as well as the 2 YouTube videos that I posted that week. So here we go, how to sit at your desk to relieve shoulder pain. The anatomy of the shoulders is very complex. It's complicated and people don't know where to start. So today I'm going to share my most basic, actionable, good posture habits to avoid shoulder pain at work. Tendons connect various muscles to shoulder joints. We overuse these muscles for long periods of time when working on a computer, when touching a keyboard, when touching a mouse. I usually feel the pain in the shoulder tendons though, not in the muscle that's being contracted or extended for long periods of time, which is often the bicep. So let's talk about the bicep, which is more of the cause of my shoulder pain. The effect was normally normally my shoulder pain. So let's look here. You got a great picture here of the bicep contracted. Notice up here you've got 2 tendons that connect this muscle to the shoulder. This is where I always felt the pain. I've never felt pain in my bicep from sitting at a computer, but this is the cause of the problem. I had this bicep contracted for long periods of time, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 2,000 hours a year. You know how that goes. And you also see that it's connected down here to the elbow. A lot of people refer to that as tennis elbow, but that's not the cause. The elbow tendon is not the cause of the pain either down there. The bicep is normally the cause of the pain that I feel down there. So number one, the first tip, I've got 6 tips here today. Number one, make sure the elbow is never below desk level. That causes us to engage our bicep muscles in order to lift our hands and arms onto the keyboard and mouse. Even though this is only a very slight bicep contraction, it can cause a lot of shoulder tendon pain when it's held in the exact same position for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. I like to keep my elbows at slightly more than a 90-degree angle. We'll look at that in a second here in some pictures. This will engage my tricep muscles more and take some of the burden off of my biceps. So if you look over here on this other picture, the same picture we just saw, but if you look over to the right, you can tell that the triceps are contracted a little bit more, and it's taken a lot of pressure off and a lot of burden off of that bicep, which in essence takes a burden off of these shoulder tendons and elbow tendons. Now there are tendons connecting the triceps to the shoulder and connecting the triceps to the elbow, but it's important to maintain a comfortable contraction here of the tricep as opposed to a comfortable contraction of the bicep. I like to sit, when I'm using a mouse, obviously this is more than a 90-degree angle, and this is less than a 90-degree angle, so I like to sit with my arm somewhere in the middle of these 2 pictures. You can see here on this picture on the left, her elbows are below desk level, which is causing her to contract her elbows just to lift her forearm and hands onto the keyboard and mouse. So it's causing probably shoulder pain, and the cause of that is the contraction of the bicep. Look over here, her biceps are not contracted as much. I know it's hard to tell, but you can tell that her elbow is at a 90-degree angle to get her hands on the mouse and keyboard. If it was me, my personal preference, I'm not saying this is not ideal, my personal preference is to have that have that seat another inch or two higher so that it's a little bit more than a 90-degree angle. That way I can contract my triceps a little bit, and that would take a little bit of stress off my shoulders. Next picture, here's an example of a user with her elbow below the desk. You can't tell, but I mean, her elbow is definitely contracted in order to lift her hands up onto that laptop in order to use it. Number 2 tip is avoid internal shoulder rotation. As we place our hands and arms on a keyboard and mouse, we naturally tend to rotate our shoulders internally. Now, internal shoulder rotation can be a good thing when throwing a ball, playing sports, lifting weights, or even pushing open the door. However, keeping my shoulders internally rotated for 8 hours a day is a very bad thing. It caused me a lot of shoulder pain at work. Now, don't pay attention to all these complicated tendon names. All we need to do is see that there's 3 tendons here that connect this to the torso, this bone, this arm bone to the torso. And there's also other tendons. These are not the only tendons. These are just 3 that connect it to the torso. And you can see when it's internally rotated right here, it's connected to that chest muscle, so it has effects on the chest muscle. Chest compression when slouching forward could also cause more shoulder rotation and pain in this tendon here. Here's another one that shows just more muscles they're doing in the exact same place as the last picture. So that just shows how many muscles and how many tendons are connected to that arm. Learning how to avoid internal shoulder rotation when placing our hands on a keyboard and mouse is a key way to prevent shoulder pain, in summary, for number 2. Number 3, keep your mouse and keyboard within comfortable reach. I used to keep my mouse and keyboard far from the edge of my desk, like almost under my monitor. This would cause me to overextend my hands and arms in order to use them. This would cause pain in the back of both of my shoulders, those external rotators in the shoulders, because they were overextended. You can tell this guy here has got his laptop very far from the edge of his desk. His elbow is way more than a 90-degree angle. I would not sit in that position. And you can tell he's not internally rotated here, but you can tell his external rotators are definitely overextended here in order to reach that far forward. But he can't bring the laptop to the edge of his desk, because then he'd have to look even more at a downward angle, which he's already at an unhealthy angle. That's why I talk all the time about using an external monitor when using a laptop for long periods of time. They're not too expensive. $150 is how much I paid for mine. Then you can get a cheap $20 HDMI cable. Just plug it in from your laptop into the monitor. Then you're using the same laptop and you're looking straight ahead at the monitor. The woman on the right, she does have her laptop placed near the edge of the desk. However, she's still got the same arm and elbow angle that he's got. The reason for that is because with her chair height adjusted correctly, these armrests are just in the way. They're not allowing her to slide closer to her desk. So she's got to overextend her arms, even though her elbow is in a decent position. And that's putting pressure on her external rotators on the back of her shoulder. And again, external monitor would help out here a lot in her situation as well. So here's one of the same guys. You can see here he's got a much more comfortable angle, a little bit greater than 90 degrees here in the elbow, which is much greater. Everything here should be more comfortable. Again, he's looking at a downward angle. An external monitor would help out a lot. This guy over here, he's got a good angle, in my opinion. A little bit greater than 90 degrees. That's actually a lot greater than 90 degrees. But I mean, he looks comfortable and supported. The only thing here is the downward angle. Looking at that external monitor straight ahead at eye level would be much better. Which brings us to number 4, place the top of computer screens at eye levels. This has been the most helpful good posture tip I've learned overall, not necessarily for shoulder pain, but just overall for all pain related to sitting at a computer. We'll go back to the same pictures. I've already talked about this. We're not gonna go over it again, but extended monitors here would help out a ton, especially when sitting for long periods of time working. If you're just here for 15, 20 minutes, this is really no big deal. But if you're sitting here for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, extended monitor is going to be incredibly worth it in the long run. Not having one is gonna cause pain. So we wanna try to avoid that at all costs, and same thing here. Number 5, take regular breaks and walks. We can't just sit in office chairs and stare at computer screens for 8 hours a day and not feel the consequences from that. We're not made to sit in chairs and stare at computer screens all day. We're made to move, we're made to be outside. stuff like that. So I know we have to work in an office, but we need to just avoid sitting in office chairs and staring at the screens all day in the exact same position. Even if we sit all day with good posture, we can still accumulate repetitive strain injuries, even with good posture. You guys read that right. Which brings us to the final one: work in multiple positions throughout the day. My 4 positions I like to work in. One, obviously sitting in a chair. I'll do it sometimes, even though I don't do it too often anymore. Standing. This is what I do the majority of the time, is work at a standing workstation with my computer monitor at eye level, the top of the screen at eye level. C, if I want to take a little break, but I don't quite, a break from all my legs, but don't quite want to sit in a chair, I'll sit on a stool. And D, a recline position, if I'm working in a recliner or working on a couch with my lower back supported with a big cushion. The only downside here is that downward eye angle to look at the screen, because you obviously can't really use an extended monitor when you're in a recliner or on a couch. So I wouldn't work in this position for more than 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30. But it also is a great way to take physical pain and physical energy away and let my body relax a little bit and focus more on mental clarity. And if I really want to just focus on getting one good task done in 15 or 30 minutes or whatever, a recline position is really helpful for me. So just to go over these 6 tips again one more time: make sure the elbow is never below desk level. Avoid internal shoulder rotation when working at a computer on a keyboard and a mouse. Keep your keyboard and mouse within comfortable reach. Place the top of computer screens at eye level. Take regular breaks and walks. And finally, last but not least, work in multiple positions throughout the day: sitting, standing, sitting on a stool, or reclined. So thanks for watching. If you guys have made it this far, congratulations. You're taking a big step forward in improving the quality of your life. Sign up for free email updates if you'd like. Go to sittingposture.com/newsletters. Newsletter. I only send out 1 email a week on Fridays. It'll have a link to the article that I wrote that week, as well as the 2 YouTube videos that I posted that week. You can also download a free computer posture checklist. This is related to sitting posture only. I haven't made one yet for standing, but the website there, if you want to get that, sittingposture.com/checklist. And of course, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@sittingposture. Don't forget the @ sign there. And one last note: all of my content is free, and it always will be. The more people that see my videos, the more ability I have to make more content. So I appreciate you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and finally, feel free to forward this video to a friend or family member who sits at a computer full time. Thanks. I really appreciate you guys for watching. This is Todd Bowen. I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Take care.